I do what I do.
The forced sterilization of Black and indigenous women under ethnic eugenic programs. See, America has never hesitated to sacrifice morality for power. And the only reason they don't do that anymore is because of what it did to us. We forced them to see that was wrong. What about when we talk about expansion fueled by oppression? We talk about the transatlantic slave trade to modern mass incarceration. You have Black bodies have always been used as currency to build white wealth. And they had to reform that because we're like, nah, y'all can't keep doing that either. Whether we're talking about mass incarceration or whether we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, this has to end. Can't keep doing these people like this. What about the reckless pursuit of dominance? And whether it's through colonization or war or corporate greed, white America has proven time and time again that it will burn the world to the ground if it means holding on to power. Shout out to Jamal Smith. And every time, Black Americans have been the ones forcing this country to stop, look in the mirror, and ask yourself, at what cost? See, without moral leadership of Black Americans, this country would have consumed itself in its own corruption long ago. We were the ones who made America confront the horrors of slavery and demand about abolition. We are the ones with our marching feet and the cameras that were put on us of these folk getting beat and hurt. We made them end segregation. And we pushed it closer to the ideals it claimed to stand for, from our speeches to our songs, to our valor, to our patriotism. We made it change. We made them see our humanity and we made them feel guilty. That's the truth. Same thing goes for police brutality. We made them think about it. And whether you believe it or not, I'd like for you all to go travel around and ask some questions of some locals about how they get treated in Colombia by the police. Shout out to Alonzo Dunn. How they get treated in Nigeria by the police. How you get treated in Mexico by the police. Go to Beijing. Go to one of these Asian countries. Go to China and see how the police treat you. I know y'all don't want to hear this, okay? I know you don't want to hear this because, fight the power and everything. But as far as police go, ours are pretty tame. I know y'all don't want to hear that. I know. I'm not saying they're the best. I'm not saying that. But go to Jamaica. Go deal with the police officers in Jamaica. Go on down there and see if you don't end up in the side of a bush somewhere. I'm just saying. I'm telling you from what I know. You want to talk about corruption and brutality? America is on the low end. It's not perfect, but my man say, try Haiti. Go to Haiti and deal with the Haitian police. But nevertheless, my whole point is at every turning point, foundational Black Americans have been the one demanding humanity and accountability and justice, while the rest of the country threw tantrums and resisted and doubled down on its cruelty. You got Latinos wanting to join in with the white man, trying to have their designation be reclaimed as redesignated as white. So they can join in on the brutality, oppression, and dehumanization. Isn't that something? But as Black folks saying, we're gonna make you live up to your ideals. Shout out to Johnny Harris. Look, white America has always been like a reckless teenager, breaking things, hoarding resources, destroying lives. And while Black Americans, we played, we played the exhausted, overworked parent, trying to teach them some doggone discipline. But here's the real question. Again, what happens when that moral parent decides to stop parenting? What happens when Black Americans finally step back and say, if you want to self-destruct, go on ahead. If you want to let white supremacy consume you, be a guest. Go ahead. If you want the world to see you sending all these folk home, you want to send 4 million people back home and watch these folks' economies crash, and then more of them going to come up here and shout up to Calvin MCA. You know what's going to happen if you send 8 million Mexicans back to Mexico at the same time? What's going to happen? What's going to happen if you send them 2 million Guatemalans back to Guatemala? What is going to happen to those countries? They can barely support themselves now. It's basically running on an underground narco economy. And then the idea of rounding that many people up and putting them in cages and shipping them home. And what is that going to do to the nation? You're going to have a whole, and look, man, we have a right to enforce our laws. I'm 100% with it. I just want you to think, black people, where is this going to go? We've been in this 3 weeks, and you got people who are afraid. There's division, and we see brutality every day. And the thing is, black folks are like, all right, we're not going to stand in your way. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Black Americans are done trying to force white America to grow up. And for too long, we've been the only ones trying to save this country from itself. But if America refuses to learn, it refuses to listen, it refuses to grow, then maybe it's time for us to let it crash and burn in that regard. We're going to be fine. Okay? We've always survived. And I'm not saying it's going to be leave the map, but see, we temper it. We temper that child's aggression. We temper America's aggression. See, we understand that when white America we understand when it needs to be confronted with its own sins. And it's usually black Americans that hold that mirror up to it. Because see, look, you need to understand this. All the Latino people, all you Africans out there who are listening to me, I don't care how loud you talk. White America does not listen to immigrants. White America does not listen to indigenous voices. White America does not listen to Latinos, Asians, or Arabs when they speak about injustice. White America does not care. These people tricked y'all into voting for Donald Trump. They turned right around and said, we about to take over Palestine and turn it into a resort in the Mediterranean. All these Venezuelans said, yeah, we're going to vote for Donald Trump. The Cubans went, and we said, okay, once he signed the sworn, we're going to send y'all right back. They don't care about oppressing you. You have no voice. As far as America is concerned, you're not even on the map. It's a black and white thing. You are nothing as far as a social status is concerned. You're just filling a place. You're just there to cut their lawns and watch their kids. It's hard to hear, but you don't count in this country. You're irrelevant to white America. I'm just saying, you have no voice. You have no place. You're here. You've been assigned the position. You didn't earn the position. But see, on the flip side, when foundational black Americans speak, white America is forced to listen. Shout out to Quiet Faith. And I know folk don't want to hear it. I'm just telling you what I'm putting a voice, putting words to what you already know to be true. Because if they listen, they'd be listening right now. They're not listening. They don't care. Oh, you took my daddy away. Don't care. Now, the question you should be asking yourself is, why is it that black, white America listens to us? They don't respect us like that. It's not that they value us. We're not special little snowflakes, special little chocolate chips. But here's the thing. They do fear what happens when we stop asking and start demanding. Because when we do that, things change. See, America doesn't change because it wants to. America doesn't change because it grows a conscience. America only changes when black Americans make it too ashamed not to. The civil rights movement, it didn't succeed because white America suddenly became enlightened. It succeeded because the world saw black children and black men and black women being attacked by dogs and hosed down in the street and beaten for simply wanting dignity. The Voting Rights Act of 1965, it didn't pass because white politicians had a moral awakening. It passed because a bloody Sunday in Selma forced white America to see its own brutality on television, and the world saw it. Same thing with the George Floyd unalivement. It didn't spark global protests because his death was unique. It happened all the time, twice on Sunday. It sparked protests because a foundational Black American group of people expressed rage, and it made it impossible for the country to look away.
Black father, I have black son.
Tune in, we be feeling inspired. From the heart, real talk ignite. Every episode brings to light. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's family. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins, enjoy the ride. Come say hi, catch the wave, don't pass by. Lifted spirits always inside. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Drop some coins.
Donation. I thought it was a class.
Hey man, I do what I do.
You know that.
Your ass class, don't come on now. What? You tall black mother. Women up inside. I don't give a fuck about